When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech4Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech4Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
Welcome everybody to the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200. I am Rick Sousa, and welcome to the IWM Broadcast Network, and I'm joined here in the booth by my broadcasting partner, John DeRudras.
We're here in Hotlanta today, and let me tell you, this is not new Atlanta. This is old Atlanta, so not some super speedway racing like we're typically used to seeing in the Cup Series. This is old Atlanta with the next-gen cars. So, what does that mean? It means a lot of different lines. It means a lot of slippery tires. And you know what that means? That could mean a lot of what that 21 car just did right there at the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. I reckon. So let's really quick, before qualifying starts, let's bring up our Tech4Troop Cup Series point standings as it stands going into the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200. Joey Doucette still top of the board right now with a clear lead over Ryan Pittman of about 50 to 60 points. I mean, he has a demanding lead with Harley Barletta in third, still looking to get that first win. But look at Hermes Castro. He's had a great run this far this season. He was fastest in practice. We'll see if he's able to do anything in the fourth position. Ian Ogden is in fifth. Mike Sladker is in fifth. Your previous Cup Series champion, Christopher Howell, is in seventh. Sean Shootman's in eighth. Ty Bostic is in ninth. And Marco Berube rounds out your top 10 in the point standings.
All right, so qualifying is underway. Let's join it right now. We'll pick up somebody who is currently on the track.
I believe that's Sean Shootman there in the 43 machine.
Actually, that's Andrew Surwick.
Or Andrew Surwick.
In the 43, yep. See his qualifying time. We'll bring up and get our best time board in our tower up and see where we are at once these laps begin to trickle in.
Yeah, but I had all my numbers mixed up, so now I got them corrected. Sean Schubin is the 37, not the 43. Let's see what he's able to do. Ian Ogden's at the top of the board right now with the 31.22, followed by Mike Slapter there with the 31.23. There's Mr. Ogden out of AJM.
So we've got 2 laps of qualifying tonight. Usually lap 1 is get ready for lap 2, and lap 2 is your keeper when it comes to your best qualifying attempt.
Yep, and that kind of looks like what happened with Ian Ogden there, but Joey Doucette decided to knock him off by running a 10th faster. There goes Luke Bullard right behind Mr. Doucette. There's Paul Valenstein making his way up to the top 5 right now, and Alonzo King, rather, jumped his way up there.
All right, so qualifying is ticking away. There's a number of drivers who are still in the process right now of currently qualifying and getting ready to qualify.
Really quick, as we have some people joining us on the YouTube side of things. We have best of luck, John Ledger. So John Ledger, you got a little supporter out there, and really quick, Hermes Castro just went to the top of the board with a 31.09. First time we've able to see anybody get into the sub 31.1 bracket.
Look at the new, and he's rocking a new paint scheme for tonight.
He is. He's rocking our title sponsor, Tech4Troops. So let's see if he's able to maybe bring home another quick lap, or he's going to try to do a practice pit road entry. I highly recommend that. That's what he just did. So great run by Mr. Castro.
So starting tonight, our title sponsor, Tech4Troops, is holding a weekly contest for our scheme skirmish of the Speedway, and that means that the winner, as chosen by our Tech4Troops sponsor of the best paint scheme of the night, will receive an Amazon gift card at the end of the race. So we'll announce that winner once that selection is made, and stay tuned for our Speedway skirmish.
Alrighty, there we go. Beautiful scheme, by the way. Love the blue and the white. Here comes Christopher Howell. He moves his way up to P3 on the board. No one's been able to compete with that 31.09.
That's a screaming time. I'm just shocked at that number.
I mean, in these cars that don't race here anymore on this current surface, it's definitely interesting to see how close that top 5 is, all separated by less than 1/10 of a second right there. So we'll see what Christopher Howell is able to do on lap number 2. He ran a 31.16. If he's able to run anything quicker here. Nope, nothing quicker. He may just be running some extra laps to see what that number 88 machine can do. Still looking for his first win of the season there out of AJM. There's Brad Previtt. He just tagged the outside wall coming into turn 1. See that right side damage, which is something I think we may see a little bit more of tonight. Not out of Mr. Brad, but out of maybe the rest of the field, and we'll get into that once we talk about the 3 keys to the race. But as it stands right now, it looks like those are all the competitors who are going to run some qualifying laps here at Atlanta. A 23 car field from what it is showing us right now.
Well, we can, at this point, if you want, John, maybe it's a good time to talk about, while they're gridding up, John's keys to the race.
Absolutely. So, for the Hotlanta 200, where we got to talk about this surface. You know, this surface is old. It's the old Atlanta. It's not the new Atlanta. So you got to preserve your tires. Everybody knows how Atlanta is just known for just sliding through the corners. So if you're able to preserve your tires early and often, you are more than likely going to be a contender at the end of the race. Second, exit throttle control. So what do I mean by that is, your throttle control off the corner is going to be one of the most important things to, 1, preserve tires, and 2, keep your car going in the right direction. So make sure to not stab the throttle too hard on exit, or you're going to be going right around. And number 3, clean air. Clean air is going to be everything here, I believe, in these new next-gen cars. So whoever's out front is going to have an advantage, and that clean air is going to pay dividends on the long run if you're also able to save your tires. So we'll see what's able to happen here tonight at Hotlanta. Let's bring up our starting lineup for the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200, brought to you by Tech4Troops. In first, your pole sitter, Hermes Castro out of Owl's Nest Racing, is P1. In second place, your current point standings leader, Joey Doucette out of AJM. Third, his teammate, Christopher Howell, followed by Luke Bullard in fourth, Ty Bostic in fifth, Ian Ogden in sixth, Robert Fake with a nice run up there in P7, Harley Barletta in eighth, Mike Slapker rounding out ninth, and Paul Valentine rounding out your top 10.
In 11th, you got Ryan Pittman in the 08 on the outside. Alonzo King in the 80 is currently showing in 12th. In 13th, Marco Berube in 99 on the outside. Alexander Schumacher in the 68. In 15th position, Bobby Gibson in the 28. On the outside, Mark Feeney in the 73. Austin Armstrong is in 17th. And William Mann Jr. in the 29 is in 18th. The 19th slot is filled by Jeff Needy in the 40. And outside of Jeff is Sean Shipman in 37 in 20th position.
In 21st, you have Brad Previtt, followed by Andrew Surwick in 22nd. David Watts makes up 23rd. John Ledger is in 24th, technically. Evan Amick is in 25th. Elias Hope is not joining us for tonight's race because he is the admin and the owner of the league. And also, Pete Woodrum is out routing out P26. So that is our 26 car field.
All right, let's see just what this track is presenting to us right now with our race information. We have got a balmy 73 degrees air temp, but the track temperature is 115 degrees.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot, and it's gonna be slick. You got 4 sets of tires with a quick repair, and I believe all 4 of those sets are gonna be needed, and that quick repair may be needed as well. Pace car drops off. We are green flag racing here at Hotlanta. We got a stack up wreck in the beginning, big wreck right at the start. No caution yet, but I believe it will be. Wow. Well,
looks like Luke Bullard just went dead right on that and tagged the wall.
That's got to be a shift. That has to be a missed shift. I mean, I know these tires are cold, but I mean, that was way too early.
If we can go back and take a look at this.
Yeah. That was way too early for this.
Just trying to get a far chase shot. And maybe we're a little bit too far back, but let's let this play out a bit, then we can back it up. Wow.
Yeah, what happened to the 72 there?
That 72, that is Robert Fake.
I mean, it looked like he almost... Did he...
Look, I'm watching the 14 behind him. He does get a little help there by the 14, but because I guess he checked up, and of course he doors the 89 of Valentine. Luke Bullard is in the wall in the 3.
It looked like he had the same issue as well, Rick.
Yeah, there's a lot of cars spinning here.
I mean, let's go. I mean, we have the 72 spinning across the track. There comes the 19. That is John Ledger. I mean, could we go on board of the 72, because it looks like the 72 and the 3 had identical starts here. Was it throttle? I mean, Rick, I don't know. That's wild to see this right off the bat.
Yeah, we can go on board right now. Let's see with the 72. Let's do a driver cam. This is on board at full speed with Robert Fake. He's in second gear. I think he went to throttle up and then just spun the tires.
Just didn't grip. Just didn't grip the track. I think the same thing happened with Luke Bullard as well. I mean, that was twice. I mean, now this poses a big threat to the whole field, because, Rick, what happens if we get some laps on these tires? What's going to happen then?
Yeah, let's go on board with Luke Bullard. Again,
he's the same thing.
He's in second gear.
Okay. 5400, throttles up. It's almost the same thing that happened. I mean, it just looked like once he got on the throttle, it just completely went to the wall. So, or got out of shape. Well, that's our first caution of the night here at Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Wow, that was interesting for sure. Not really. I guess we're just gonna chalk that up to cold tires.
I guess. I mean, I don't really know. Don't really know how else you could chalk it up besides that. You know, it's definitely crazy to see that early on, but it's something that hopefully will get straightened out as this race progresses here. But you know, since this is a caution, I got some facts for you now. So well, I may have to prepare more after that. But did you know that the Cup Series qualifying record was set back in 1997 here at Atlanta by Jeffrey Bodine with an average speed of 197 miles an hour around Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now, let's think about that. That is fat. Well, back in those days, you're comparing that to Talladega and Daytona. So, I mean, wild speeds there for that. That is a qualifying time or qualifying speed there. So that is your first Atlanta track fact. I will try to find more as the race progresses if there are more cautions.
Well, I think right now, let's take a look at that. Yeah, pace car, the lights are off on top of the pace car, which means we are going back to green flag racing next time around, hopefully with a slightly different result.
Well, we can hope. We can hope.
So unfortunately, that impact has certainly affected a number of drivers. Mike Slachter, John Ledger, Robert Fake, I think Mark Feeney also, Paul Ballenstein. We're all caught up in that incident. Hopefully those guys can get things straightened out.
We'll see. We will see as the field makes their way down the back stretch. And gonna give a couple more shout outs. Ryan Pittman says, "Good luck, everyone. Thanks for the broadcast." Well, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan Pittman is on the track.
He is currently sitting in 7th position.
Randy says John Ledger for the win. So let's see if he can make his way back up after getting involved in that first incident. And Matt Swope says, "Good luck, everyone." So good old Matt there. Pace car is dropped off. Rick, I think we're about to go green flag racing again. Let's see if the restart's any better.
We are back to green.
And I think, oh my gosh.
That's the 68 spinning right into the wall. That's Alexander Schumacher. I'm not sure.
I'm at a loss for words. I've never seen this twice in a row, Rick.
Oh, the 29 came up of.
Oh, yep. That's
Robert Mann. Is it William Mann Jr.? Luke Bullard got collected again. I know Bobby Gibson was involved at some point. Let's see where.
So, definitely some interesting chatter over the radio.
Look at that.
Oh, look at Bobby Gibson. The same thing.
Nobody touched him.
Now he's going to reverse. Look at that. He's pulling the Lightning McQueen, everybody. He is in a red car. So, Bobby, you have been deemed as Lightning McQueen. But I heard over the radio, don't stab the throttle. And I think that's kind of the issue that we're facing here is that I guess the drivers are stabbing the throttle.
Well, he's in third gear. He is in third gear.
Oh, he downshifted. Yep. That's what did it. Well, we know why Bobby spun. Let's see if we can go back to Alexander Schumacher and see what happened with that 68 machine. Let's see if we can go on board here because he definitely got turned. But let's see. We're not able to see any RPMs or anything, but I think that car definitely did get a little loose, Rick.
Yeah, I'm looking for a different. I don't have an inside camera. He is driving a Ford, and our cameras don't mount well inside that car. But we can go. We can maybe hear a little bit here. Let's see what we can hear.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that it just got out of shape, and really, I mean, I don't know if William Mann just kind of know where to go. I mean, just a matter of just product of circumstance, you know.
Well, we are 8 laps are completed, all under caution.
All under caution. Well, you know, it's another caution, so this means another track fact. So, did you know, Rick, that in the opening scenes of the movie Smokey and the Bandit 2, they actually filmed that beginning scene at this racetrack. Also, it was used for the 1983 film Stroke Ace.
Stroke Race. There you
Stroke
go.
Race. Yep, Stroke Race. So, it's called Hotlanta for a reason, not because of temperature, but because of some very famous movies have been shot here as well.
That's got to be what it is.
Exactly.
So speaking of that, we do know from a race information that the track is exceptionally warm.
Especially for a 73-degree day. I mean, you know, it just seems like they're like pumping heat into the track or something.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But it is what it is. So,
you know, and that could also be a reason why you're seeing these spins, is that with the cold tire temperatures and the warm track surface, I mean, I know it kind of sounds counterintuitive, but that could definitely be playing a factor into the grip level.
Well, it's certainly not helping.
Not at all.
I'm just looking at our incident board and hearing from our pit reporters. I'm just going to try and see what else we may have seen. No, that was just Luke Bullard. I think he may have stopped on track. So let's just go back. All right, so our second caution has come and gone. There are some damaged race cars, maybe a few damaged egos in the process. Don't know. But certainly we've learned a very valuable lesson here, and that is do not just jam your foot into the throttle and expect the tires to stick, because they're not.
Yeah, don't expect anything good when you do that. Save the stabbing of the throttle for when you get into turn 1, or maybe even the backstretch. I don't even know. But right now it looks like, I believe, everybody besides Luke Bullard, Robert Fake, Mark Feeney, and Paul Valentine are on the lead lap. So we have 22 cars on the lead lap so far, and we are looking to get the green flag this time by...
Let's try this. Maybe the third time is the charm.
Yeah, third time. I'm feeling good about this one, Rick. I'm feeling good about this. I hope they can get it around here. We will see, though. We'll find out here very soon.
All right, pace car has dropped off the racing surface. Coming up the flag, and here we go. Back to green flag racing at Atlanta. We are crossing our fingers so we can actually complete a lap.
Everybody has made it across the start-finish line, so we have a promise there. We're good. Let's see what turn 1 looks like. Everybody is spread out right now. And we made it through 1. See if everybody comes off too clean. They do. I believe we are racing, Rick, here in Atlanta.
Hopefully we stay racing. All right, so we are back to the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200 after a couple earlier incidents. Kind of put us back in the caution mode. Our first 11 laps were completed under caution. But right now, Hermas Castro is out front.
And taking advantage of what I think is a big factor here, clean air. You can see he's got nobody in front of him. He's running that low line, and we know, Rick, running the high line here does work, and I saw him running that in practice, so I anticipate Mr. Castro to get that high line working up here pretty soon. Right on cue. Look at that. It's like I'm talking to Hermes Castro right now, and I'm his crew chief as well.
Maybe listening to you in his ear.
He may be. I mean, Ryan Pittman's commenting on YouTube, so who knows who's been watching and driving at the same time. But right now, Hermes Castro all the way up in that high line, which he found much, much faster on the long run here at Atlanta in practice. He was the fastest car in practice as well. So
what we do know about the high line in Atlanta with these cars is that A, it's a little faster, but B, it has less tire wear. It's not quite as abrasive, and if you're timely with your corner entry and exit, you can definitely make these tires last.
Sure, let's see if we can ride on board with the 25 right now before he goes into turn 1 to see how close he gets to the wall, because it is very impressive to run the high line here at Atlanta in these Cup cars. And you can just see how he's all the way up against that wall. I mean, it looks like he's basically hitting it, but he's really not. I mean, very close to the wall there. A lot of throttle, a lot of car control. Doing a great job.
So he's completely off the throttle to about the apex between 3 and 4, and then back on. Based on those RPMs, he's all the way.
Yep. And, you know, Joey Doucette may catch him here, but I think Castro knows what he's doing. I believe he's saving a little bit of tires by running that high line, and I think you're going to see that from a lot of the drivers on back. Taking a look back at 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, you have Howell, Bostic, Barletta, and Ogden all battling right there. Christopher Howell looking for his first win of the season. Same thing with Ty Bostic in that beautiful number 22 machine. That beautiful 22 Tide. Got the chrome on the back, the chrome paint, looking fantastic there. I believe it's chrome. Is that chrome, Rick? Or am I
think
blind?
I think it's a little bit of a chrome feature in the back of that car.
Yes, it is.
A little bit of contact.
You got the 22 and the 88. Oh, that's definitely chrome.
Yeah, he's got that spec map working well on this car for sure.
Yeah, it looks really, really good with that tight scheme. So here we go. We got Harley Barletta now going around the right side on the high side of Christopher Howell. Let's see what Harley Barletta's looking at. You know, he's looking for his first win of the season too, Rick. And I think it could come at a place like Atlanta. He's been running consistent times. He's been running up there at the front. I think he has a good chance to bring home a win.
Yeah, I mean, while all these guys you're watching right now, Ty Bostic, Harley Barletta, Christopher Howell, and Ian Ogden are all on the same team. You know what? Team points don't matter when it comes to team. It's all about you, the individual.
It is, and right now, you know, Joey Doucette is the class of the field for those AJM guys, and all those other guys are looking for wins because Joey Doucette has brought home 3 wins this season so far, sitting himself way ahead of the competition by over a full race. So he could not show up one week and still be the point leader, even if somebody got max points, which is crazy to think here in the Cup Series. But we're 20 out of 133 complete here in the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200. Hermes Castro is out front, followed by Joey Doucette and the rest of the AJM guys. You have Ty Bostic in 3rd, as those AJM guys battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th, with Ryan Pittman in 7th, William Mann Jr. in 8th, Marco Berube in 9th, and Mike Sladker rounding out your top 2.
You know, we've seen Mike kind of move up through the field at the beginning. When we first saw him in the series, as he began to he was relatively new to the group. He has worked his way up, and we're now consistently seeing Mike in the top 10.
He is. He's been improving every single week, and that is something that you want to have happen here, especially at this point in the season, because if you can get on a roll, Mr. Souza there, you can find your way up to the top 12, which is what you need to be in to get into the top standings here to move into the playoffs. So absolutely, what a run by Sladker there in that Monster Energy number 14 car.
All right, we're watching Hermes Castro continue to put on a clinic on how to run the high line here at Atlanta. Joey Doucette is on his tail, but about half a second behind. running a slightly different track.
Yeah, he's running that middle line, which is interesting because it's going to be a little bit more tire wear, but also he is not pushing it as hard as these guys that are running the low line. So we'll see how that fares out over time. But right now, with 111 to go, about 10 to 15 laps on these set of tires, this is when it's going to start, noticeably being a difference between who's saving and who has used up too much of their tires. But Rick, right now, these two leaders have a good 2 seconds on the rest of the field.
They do. Let's drop back to Ty Bostic. Ty's kind of taking some middle ground, although he's got a couple of guys that would do right there on his tail. But he's got a little bit of a gap over those guys. That's the 81 of Harley Barletta and the 88 of Christopher Howell.
And while we're on Ty Bostic, Donna says Ty's a game developer. He's got a little practice with designing those cars. He's designed Luke's Tedder Trash Solutions car as well. So if we look over back at Luke Bullard, we could see maybe if he's running that paint scheme tonight, Rick. I believe he is. If I'm not mistaken, it's hard to kind of see that paint scheme.
There it is. It's a black and red paint scheme.
Yep, I can't see the hood, but I believe it. So, definitely got some awesome... Oh, car on the wall right there. We caught that. Who was right in front of Luke there? Is that the 43 of...
It is. It is the 43 of...
Sherwick.
Sherwick, yes. You are correct. Yep.
And Rick, we have a... Go ahead.
I keep wanting to say Jameson.
Yeah, really. We got a tight battle for the lead right now, but yeah, I agree. I keep on wanting to say either, for some reason, Schumacher or Jameson there. But right now, we have Joey Doucette and Hermes Castro battling for the lead. Two very different lines being run right now for those two cars. We'll see who has the run. It should be Castro, but that 11 is still fighting hard on the bottom lane with 1:07 to go.
Well, the thing is, he can fight down there all he wants, but I think there's just going to be a point where his tire wear will be eclipsed by Hermes Castro.
I agree, and it may not be by a lot, but it'll be enough, especially as these laps wind on, maybe 5 or 10 laps from now, just because of where everybody else is running on the track. Right now I'm looking back through the field. The only cars that are running that high line right now is really only Hermes Castro. Nobody else is running that high line. You see Joey Doucette getting that run in the middle lane there. We'll see how much oomph this 25 has to battle back on the high side off the corner, but I think Joey Doucette may clear him coming out of 2. Slides right in front of him. What a move by the 11, your point leader, to go to the point here tonight. Joey Doucette is now your leader of the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200.
That was a heck of a pass. That was just inches as he moved his way in front of the 25 of Hermes Castro.
Yep, and here we go. That 25 may try to pressure that 11 a little bit, try to get a little loose by being right on his tail in there. We know these cars can definitely get loose, and we'll see what happens as these guys are nose to tail going into 3.
Well, he definitely dropped down to Joey's line for a bit, but then kind of moved his way back up, getting a little bit of air with Joey.
He has a run coming out of turn 4 right now. Let's see what he was able to do. I mean, they're like mimicking each other right now. Awesome to see both these guys running this high line. Oh, 11 got loose. And there's some bump drafting going on.
Just a little bit. I did see some sparks fly. Someone tagged that wall.
Oh, you're going to see a big run from the 25 car. You can see it just off the corner right there. That 25 gets a massive run. Let's see if he's gutsy enough to go to the bottom side. He waits a second. And here comes the 25. Down to the inside of the 11. And not quite there yet. But he definitely has the faster car right now, I believe. I think he's just letting the 11 kind of just get a hint of what that clean air tastes like.
Well, 31 laps in the book. We've run 20 clean and green for the past little bit. We're not quite sure at this point what our fuel mileage is, so we're as curious as you when we see these guys coming down pit road. John, any idea as to when you expect to see them come down?
So, with 60% fuel at a mile and a half, I mean, you're probably looking at somewhere around 37 to 40 laps. So, they're not going to come down right at lap 40, but I think they will come down probably close to 40, 44. My guess. Here we go. Big checkup out of the 11. Got loose.
You see what's going on here. This battle between these two guys has allowed Ty Bostic and Christopher Howell to catch back up.
Right, and we actually had a car just come out of pit road
Oh,
right
look
there.
At what happened with Hermas Castro. Yeah, he was slowing down.
11 got loose as well. I mean, 11 was trying to battle back, and then the 22 cuts off the 88. Oh, we got a 4-car battle for the lead. Here we go, folks. In Hotlanta, it's definitely getting hot up front. Hermas Castro takes the point. And a caution. Looks like Alonzo King was involved in that.
Alexander Schumacher as well. It's probably good timing for these guys. We'll probably see a few of those guys in the pits.
Oh, I imagine everybody's going to come down pit road.
Well, I think we figured out where it happened. Let's go back and see.
From what I heard is that the 80 got loose underneath the 68 out of the corner from the radio.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, yep, definitely you can see that. And if you're watching for the first time, or this is your first time watching this type, you can take those seams that you see on the track were part of the original Atlanta. So those are actual seams, and certainly that helps us as commentators and viewers, but it also they can be a little slippery as well to the driver.
Yep, when you're making that transition, it just doesn't really like it. And you can see right as he hits it, it just gets loose, tags 68 in the left rear. 68 does a nice job, barely taps the outside wall. He should be okay. But two great drivers right there battling pretty hard. But Rick, we got the leaders on pit road. Here comes Hermas Castro and the rest of the field.
The entire field is now on pit road.
We had some guys slide through their stalls.
So you're seeing a full change of tires and topping off of fuel. Of course, this plays another, it's right back to what we saw in the first 12 laps. Hopefully these guys will realize, hey, our tires are A, cold, and B, a little slippery.
They definitely are, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another spin. Not because these drivers are bad, but just because the nature of this track. I mean, you saw some of the best get loose there on the first couple of restarts. So we'll see what happens here as they have 36 out of 133 under their belt. And right now, making a note, so they pit on lap 36 technically. So got to make that number known, and that is what we're going to use as a reference right now. Pretty much right in line with what I was envisioning, but obviously we had 8 laps of caution, so that ties into it. But I still think you can't stay out here on cold tires. I mean, it's just not going to work.
No, for sure. So once we can kind of get a feel for, pretty much everybody has gone back in. I think looking at the board here, every driver has pitted at this point, either at lap 35 or if they were involved in something earlier, they pitted slightly earlier. But this is their first pit stop for a good bit of these guys. Got David Watts up there in it's like a very patriotic Tech4Troops branded car, as well as got the iRacing Warriors Motorsports on it as well. So probably another good contender for our sponsor to look at paint schemes in cars.
Absolutely. Got him up front. Good time to get that paint scheme some TV time.
All right, let's see if we can go on board. Let's see if we can grab Ian Ogden. Ian, welcome to the broadcast booth. Got a minute during this caution to talk with us?
Sure.
So, slippery tires, a little greasy out there?
Yeah, a little bit. It's not too terrible. Getting towards the end of the run, it's a little loose. But, I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. We didn't do too hot in practice, so this is good.
So what are you seeing on the restarts? So is it that loose under throttle when you like basically stop on the gas? Is it that loose? Because we've seen multiple cars spin out on the restarts.
Yeah, so it is definitely a roll into the throttle kind of night. Definitely don't want to stab the gas and try to get going. You definitely need to roll, or otherwise you'll spin the tires.
All right, well, you're about to go back to green flag. Good luck, and we'll talk to you later.
We can keep going, guys. I'm good.
All right, good luck to you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
We may need to do that here in a little bit. Not this race maybe, but maybe get some live in-car feed with that good sir right there and see what he's feeling live. I mean, that'd be pretty cool to have that in the broadcast. Rick, we're about to go green flag racing here. Here we go. Green flag, outside line does not go, inside line does not go, but Hermas Castro does. Everybody keeps their car straight.
Yep,
We're racing.
Kind of holding my breath a little bit here as these guys begin to cross that start-finish line. Hermas Castro jumps out to a good lead.
Yep, and we're 2 by 2 coming out of turn 2.
Coming back behind him, obviously Joey Doucette has kind of separated himself with that group, but don't look too far back. You've got Ryan Pittman, Harley Barletta, Mike Slagter, Ty Bostic, Chris Howell. They're all there in a pack trying to run down this leader.
Yeah, I mean, look at Mike Slagter there back in P5. He's doing an awesome job already from really, he started in 9th, so he's making his way methodically through the field. In that number 14, we mentioned him earlier as being one of the contenders to slowly make his way up through the field in every single race here in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Same thing with Ryan Pittman. Ryan Pittman right now is running, I believe, in 3rd. He just passed, I believe that is the 81 of Harley Barletta, so he's up from 11th place. Great to see him up there in that, always got to say, that awesome NASCAR racing car. Just one of my favorites.
So another big mover is the 29 of William Mann. Although he was, I think, in that earlier incident, he has now moved up 10 spots. He started 11 spots now. He's up to 7th. He started in 18th position.
Yep, and here he goes around the outside of Christopher Howell there. Ty Bostic blocks that high line, but I think William Mann has found something in that middle lane because he is rocking and rolling on this restart, trying to get as many positions as he can. 22 blocks the high side. The 29's there, so we'll keep an eye on this battle really quick. Oh, we got cars on the apron. I think we're okay, though. And William Mann Jr. battling Ty Bostic there for that 6th spot. And that's the congested part of this racetrack right now between those 6 drivers on the screen.
A little bit farther back, we've got this group here. This has got Jeff Eaney, John Ledger, Pete Woodrum, Evan Amick. Back here, a little bit farther back.
Yep, there's John Ledger trying to make his way back up through the field. There's Jeff Nene.
Got Pete Woodrum in the number 1. AV Michelob Ultra.
It's a pretty cool paint scheme. I actually haven't seen that one before. That's
a new paint.
That's a unique paint scheme for Pete.
Bradley Previtt in the 91. Cam with Evan Amick in that Air Force Tech4Troops.
A lot of patriotic schemes here tonight. Awesome to see that. Oh, car loose in the grass. That is
Jeff Needy.
Yep, is he able to keep that car straight? He is. Oh, Brad Previtt in the wall. Right front. We saw him do that in qualifying.
We seem to find ourselves in the right place at the right time right now with this group in the back.
Yeah, we've been doing that a lot recently, Rick. I think we're getting pretty good at this broadcasting thing.
Well,
I don't know.
It's actually this crystal ball that's been dropped, and it's just we can sometimes it tells us what we need to know.
You don't give away all our secrets. We can't let everybody know what goes on behind the scenes here. We just can't. If you heard that, you did not hear that. So we didn't say anything about a crystal ball. We don't know what's going on. I'm not going to predict a caution here in about 3 laps, but we may see one. I don't know. I'm joking. Right now, what isn't a crystal ball and what's not something that we don't expect to see is Hermes Castro out front. He's running a great race so far. Your pole sitter. He's been out front every single lap, pretty much. I don't think he has not led one lap not under green. So he's now checked out to about 1/8 of a second lead over Joey Doucette. And this is what we saw last run, Rick. Castro runs that high line. Joey Doucette gets back to his bumper, and then Castro decides to pass him a little bit later on the run. I think we're going to see that same thing here.
We saw Hermes Castro kind of taking a little bit more of an aggressive line here. Maybe he's taking that to heart after watching Joey pretty much run up on him that last green flag run.
Yeah, we'll see as this race progresses. He has definitely moved down to the bottom lane, which is going to use more tires. We know that for sure. And there's Joey Doucette in pursuit now, about a half second back from that 25 car. Looking for his 4th win of the season. Ryan Pittman there in 3rd, looking for a win as well. Mike Sladker looking for his first victory, battling with Harley Barletta right now. They're both looking for victories on the season. There's William Mann Jr. had a great run at Richmond. Made his way up into the top 5 or top 6. Don't look too far back. Alonzo King Jr., your Richmond winner, is now up to P7 after getting involved with Alexander Schumacher, who is 2 spots behind Mr. King. And there's Mr. Bostic. And then there's Schumacher right there as well. So all these guys really just following in line. Looks like a big conveyor belt around Hotlanta right now.
Christopher Howell sitting in our 10th position right now, and he's got Ian Ogden, who we spoke to a few minutes ago live. Currently sitting in 11th, and in 12th, got Marco Berube right there in the 12th slot, and Andrew Serwick about to be potentially, as a race for position there with a 37 of Sean Shootman. Bit of contact. That's Luke Bullard.
Luke Bullard in the 37 there of Sean Shootman battling for 13th and 14th. That's definitely a battle going on between those two drivers. 3s on the high line easily clears that 37, so that moves the 3 machine up to 14th spot now, as Aaron Duserowick is now in 14th.
So running back up to the front, you've got Joey Doucette, who has kind of closed the gap on Hermes Castro, kind of setting us back up for what we saw 20 laps ago.
I mean, it's almost a spitting image of what we saw, Rick. I mean, we are showcasing the same exact thing. It's where Castro pulls out to a lead. Joey Doucette closes. I imagine Joey Doucette's going to pass. Oh, Castro in the wall. Castro's in the wall. He just tagged that outside wall just a little bit in the apex. Able to keep that car clean, but I don't know if that's going to mess up the toe at all. But he was on the edge of disaster right there. I mean, it was pretty close.
Well, when you're running that high line, you are flirting with disaster to begin with.
Yeah, you really are. But it's awesome to see when you're able to pull that move off. You can definitely gain some momentum. And here comes the 11 again on the bottom side.
Tight battle between these two. Joey Doucette pokes his nose out. Hermas Castro stays up high. He's dedicated to that high line. Joey seems to have found a balance, and of course this battle back and forth, side by side, has allowed the 08 of Ryan Pittman to crawl back up. He's just waiting there, looking for an opportunity.
Don't count out Mr. Ryan Pittman. Ryan Pittman is a fantastic driver, a very methodical driver, and we'll see what he's able to do as these two drivers are now side by side coming out of turn 2 right now. 25 is going to have the run, but here comes the 08 of Pittman looking to get past your current point leader.
So whereas in the past we saw that 11 of Joey Doucette run up, take control, and pass Hermas Castro, looks like that's not quite what's happening now. Maybe that was some earlier strategy on Hermas Castro on the line he ran to see what was going to benefit him, or maybe it's just Joey sitting back and waiting for this right opportunity.
I think it may be a mix of both, because they really have run two different lines this current run compared to last. So we'll see what happens as this race progresses, but these tires are going to start getting old pretty soon, Rick. So we'll see what the game plan is as the race goes on.
Well, these guys last pitted on lap 35. That means we're coming up to lap 58, 59, approaching 60. That's 25 laps. Even if you discount the fact that probably about 5 of those laps were under caution, 4 of them, they've got 20 plus laps on these tires.
Yes, they do. So we'll see what happens as this race progresses. But right now, Joey Doucette is under pressure from the 08 machine of Ryan Pittman, and I expect that pass to happen any time now.
Yep. And Harley Barletta has worked his way back up as well. He's right behind Ryan Pittman looking for an opportunity. So all these guys are stacked up. Castro, Doucette, Pittman, Barletta, and Slagner. Right there, that's your top 5. I think we saw a 4-way battle right before the caution.
I think so. It was all these cars are starting to stack up again, and that 4th driver looking for his first win is Mr. Harley Barletta, so we'll see what he's able to do.
Keeping an eye on Hermas Castro, he continues to show us the way around. He's got he's consistently out by about that amount, about half a second in front of Joey Doucette now. We saw Joey right there challenging him. But, we're kind of in the middle of the race here. There's some value to maybe backing off a little bit.
I definitely think so.
Yeah, there's some green flag pit stops that are going to be happening probably in the next 10 laps. So we'll expect to see it. And frankly, you know what? This is a very interesting track for getting on and off pit road under green flag conditions. It is so easy to slip and to slide and potentially put yourself in jeopardy with too fast entering onto pit road.
Oh, absolutely it is, and that's going to be interesting to see if we do get those green flag stops, which should be coming really, Rick, within the next 5 to 10 laps, I'd imagine.
We have got one car on pit road now. That's the 91 of Bradley Previn. Other than that, everybody else is out. Kind of keep an eye back here amongst these guys. That's the 81 of Harley Barletta and the 08 of Ryan Pittman as they continue to follow the leader a bit here as we are on lap 63, approaching the halfway point.
Halfway point almost there for these Tech4Troops Cup Series drivers. We want to thank everybody who's watching along here on the broadcast, whether on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, TikTok. I believe we, or not TikTok, Twitter rather. I believe we got all those running, I believe so, Rick. So I want to appreciate all those viewers. And if you haven't already, we would love for you to give us a like or a subscribe if you're enjoying what you're watching here tonight. And we have a lot of other broadcasts going on for many different series. Got a car loose right there, and another car loose. And there comes my third key to the race, or my second key to the race, is corner exit speed and throttle control. But we appreciate everybody watching along here tonight in the Tech4Troops Cup Series. This is John and Rick up in the IWM broadcast booth. With 69 to go.
All right, we'll take this opportunity to go side by side and run a commercial from our sponsor. You won't miss a single bit of the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back. We are beginning to see a number of drivers make their way onto pit road. Austin Armstrong, Ryan Pittman have made their way onto pit road. We expect to see a number of others as well.
We got a car on the wall, maybe not. Nope. I didn't know if that was Hermes Castro up there getting in the wall again.
Well, Ty Bostic was a little bit loose. I think right now we're seeing, at this point, these tires are shot, and it's time to plan your next pit stop.
Absolutely. It's definitely time to plan that next pit stop and get this going and really get underway. Because right now, with lap 68, we have 32 laps on these tires. If my math is correct, it is.
Wrecking.
There we go. Yep, there's the wreck. No caution as of yet. They're still wrecking in the back. Cars beneath the apron. No caution has come out. I think we're going to stay green, Rick. Wonder if we can go back and take a look at that one. See what went on.
Trying to figure out just who was involved.
I am not sure who is involved in that one. I believe it was Joey Doucette, Rick.
Trying to see what we can see. Definitely falling back a bit. Yep, definitely a little contact with the 68, but they saved it.
I mean, that was definitely quite a bit of contact there between those two drivers.
All right, so where are we? We are on lap 71 of a scheduled 133. Hermes Castro has come out to an extensive 2.5 lead over the second place of Harley Barletta. We got Alexander Schumacher and Mike Slagter currently on pit road. And we should and are expecting a lot of green flag pit stops coming up right about now.
It's going to start happening. We got to figure out when it'll start happening, but we believe it'll be soon as they are approaching 36 laps on these tires. My guess it's going to come within the next 5 or so laps. But we'll see. Right now, Hermes Castro is your leader with Harley Barletta trailing about 1.6 seconds back, with Ty Bostic about 2.6 seconds back. Your previous Cup Series champion, Christopher Howell, 4.5 back in fourth. And Ian Ogden rounds out your top 5 here tonight.
Right now, Sean Shipman, John Ledger, and Evan Amick are currently on pit road. We're keeping an eye on here. Now that's Ryan Pittman. He's trying to get his lap back.
Caution! Caution, 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 caution. Let's see what happened here, Rick, with 60 to go.
Mike Slagter was involved.
Oh! Big accident
better.
right there. There's a 72 of Robert Fake, and I think I know what happened.
So he's coming off pit road. Let's just
got loose right in front of the 72. Broke that left front toe link.
Sure did. Definitely has some damage there. All right, in the meantime, we've got some takers on the pit road. This is pretty much the entire field is coming down pit road. Here we are, lap 75.
Yeah, we got some green flag stops happening right now for all these Tech4Troops Cup Series not green flag stops, yellow flag stops. What am I thinking? Here we go. There comes the rest of the field. Got a little bit of a pit road, not pit road penalty, but too far up in his pit box is the 11 of Joey Doucette. Here comes the 25 off pit road. He's going to win that battle easily, with Ty Bostic right there in third and Harley Barletta on the tail of Mr. Hermes Castro.
You know, Jason from Tech4Troops is kind of joining us here in the broadcast booth. Let me see if we can get Jason here. Jason, can you hear us?
I think his mic is muted, Rick.
Yep, he may be so. So, Jason, if you can hear us, we can't. Jason, are you there?
Yeah, I think I am here. If you guys can hear me.
Yep, we sure can. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Seeing some pretty amazing paint schemes out there tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really impressed by how all the racers have come together and just demonstrated their support. I think it's awesome, and it couldn't be for a better cause.
Yeah, we've seen some guys who have really taken this to heart and put up some really beautiful paint schemes, some embracing that full Tech4Troops red, white, and blue logo, and others have added it back into their current paint scheme. So, yeah, looking great out there.
I've seen a lot of good schemes coming from Mr. Castro and the 54 car, Mr. Watts. It's looking really good. Mr. Woodruff had a neat addition, the yellow on the front of the car. I really like to see that. That's cool. I'm still juggling through a couple of the choices in my head. I'll probably have a winner for you guys in another 5 to 10 laps here, but right now I am conflicted as to which.
Well, you go ahead and you figure it out. You let us know, and just pop back in at any time, and we'll talk about the winner of the Tech4Troops skirmish.
I really appreciate it. Doing the scheme skirmish for the Speedway, I think it's a great way to just kind of let the racers know that we at Tech4Troops not only we're in it for the cause and that, but just being able to be here with you and be a part of be a part of what you're doing, seeing the racing, I mean, we're here to support too, and I think it's awesome that it's mutual.
Absolutely. All right. So we are about to get back to racing. That was Jason Parker here joining us from Tech4Troops. And we'll have an announcement in a little bit as to who wins their first paint scheme challenge.
I think it's awesome we were able to get him up here in the booth because he's over there at Tech4Troops, and they're our title sponsor. What an amazing partnership we've formed with them right here in the iRacing Warriors Motorsports, as well as everybody in the league. Awesome to have Jason up here in the booth talking with us, and I'm excited to see who he picks because I can't decide either. I mean, all of them look good to me. So, I mean, I don't know who he's going to decide on. It may be more than 5 or 10 laps because it's a hard decision. But right now, what we do know for sure is that we're about to get some green flag racing here started back up very soon. And Rick, you know, this is, I would say I'd be worried about turn 4, but I'm really worried about the restarts more than anything. So we'll see if they're able to keep these cars straight on these cold tires. Pace car makes his way down pit road here in Atlanta. Castro has the control.
We'll stay on board with Ty Bostic.
Yep. Oh, you can hear him blip the throttle a little bit, and now he is full throttle going into turn 1. Everybody keeps their car in the right direction so far.
Yeah, you could definitely hear the throttle management there. It wasn't just slam on the throttle.
And here, where's that high line comes in for Mr. Castro up at the top, and then everybody else drops down to the bottom. We're back to racing here at Atlanta. You got Castro doing what he did on every single run tonight. He just pulls out to about a second, doesn't check out, but pulls out to a comfortable lead, and kind of lets everybody else battle behind him. Here's Harley Barletta on the high side of the 22 machine. Great run out of turn 2, followed by his teammate there, Christopher Howell, both taking that middle line.
A lot of battles a little bit further back in the field here, and that's top pretty much 2nd through 10th. There's a lot of jockeying for position, a lot of tight racing amongst these drivers. Look at that, nearly 3 wide. That's King, Bullard, Andrew Serwick, Ian Ogden's back there, Pete Woodrum behind. Some really great racing out here. So Hermas Castro continues to show us the way. Harley Barletta is currently showing in P2. But after those two guys, it's a gaggle of drivers.
It's definitely something that is wild to see right now as these drivers are all battling for position. You have about 8 cars under a blanket in the middle of turn 3 and 4 right now. And it's good racing, Rick, too. I mean, it doesn't look like on new tires these cars really move around that much. So these guys can battle side by side.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing 2 wide and some folks poking their nose in, possibly almost a 3 wide. And maybe they're figuring out a little bit as to what line works best for them as well.
Sure. And that's just, you know, the natural progression of a race. You're going to see that. You're going to see who's able to figure it out, and you're going to see who's hasn't really quite mastered this just very hot Atlanta track. But right now, you have Hermas Castro checked out to almost a 2-second lead. Something we haven't really seen him do is check out this much, Rick.
Now, this is a first to be over that second place car. In this case, it's Harley Barletta. Joey Doucette did not get off pit road well. Not sure if there was an incident there, but he's sitting back now in 13th. Joey's back in here with a lot of traffic and with a whole different perspective on this field that he's had before.
We'll see what he's able to do as as this race progresses, being that far in the back. I mean, it's definitely challenging that far back, but we'll see what our current point leader is able to do. We know he can bring home a win, but when can he win here at Atlanta if he can make his way back up to the field? Because right now he is sitting outside the top 10. But right now you have a lot of cars right there. There's Bobby Gibson, there's Marco Berube, Surowick, Doucette, Pittman, all right there, nose to tail. As this Hermes Castro guy is now checked out to like a 2.2 second lead, Rick. I mean, he's definitely doing what he's doing. And by that Castro guy, I mean, we've talked about him a couple times tonight, I think. I think he has led every green flag lap tonight, Rick, putting on an absolute clinic here as William Mann Jr. now makes his way up to P4.
He has. Williams picked up 14 spots now from his starting position. He's now in the top 4. He's got Alonzo King in front of him, and then they've just got Harley Barletta after him. And that's our current battle up here in that top 5. All right, 47 laps to go here at Atlanta with the Tech4Troops Cup Series. Thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network. We've got Rick and John here in the booth, and we thank you for joining us. Whatever streaming source you have, whether that happens to be Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, we ask that you like and follow so we can keep you up to date with what's happening here at the IWM Broadcast Network. We do have a 500-mile event currently planned for Sunday. So if you're interested in watching a 500-mile event, it's a charitable event. It is the, make sure I get this right, it is the 2nd annual Ryan Sadusky Gobble Gobble 500 at Talladega. There are 43 drivers. We've got some heat races in there to place their starting position, but should be fun. It's our Tuesday night guys, and they've got other guys in there. It's a paid race, so that means there's cash opportunities to the winners. So with that, you're going to wind up with some very aggressive driving and a lot of action-packed racing. So looking forward to it. And the IWM broadcast team will have a full complement of broadcasters in the booth. So we look forward to that race. And if you can join us, we'd love to have you watching and commenting along.
That's this Sunday, correct?
It is this Sunday. It'll go off at 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Time, Sunday afternoon.
Well, that'll be a fun event. I'm looking forward to broadcasting with you and everybody else on the crew for that day, because that's going to be a very unique event that hasn't been done before here on iRacing. So it's going to be awesome to get basically turn-by-turn coverage there for that event. But right now, with 43 to go, Hermes Castro is your leader, followed by Harley Barletta. Now Alonzo King up to P3, Christopher Howell in 4th, and Luke Bullard has made his way up to P5.
Well, with that run, so we saw everybody in last time at lap 74. You're coming up to nearly 20 laps on these tires, and that's where we begin to see that wear become apparent. So you've seen where Hermes Castro had a nearly 2.5 second lead. That lead has now been cut to a 1.5 seconds. They lost nearly a full second to Harley Barletta, currently in P2. At the same time, Hermes Castro may be backing off a little bit, preserve his tires, run a safer line.
Absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do here is preserve a little bit. And if you're behind that 25, you know that 25 is going to be preserving his tires, so you have to preserve it as well.
Well, I think we're seeing the field a little bit more spread out. We can kind of bring up our track map. See that the drivers are pretty much spread out across an entire front stretch, or about half the track. There are some stragglers in the way back. That's Jeff Needy, Mike Slagter, And I think the 74 is back there as well. Or the 54, rather, of David Watts. All right, we're going to kind of waltz our way back through the field a bit, see your favorite driver, see how he's doing. Seeing Alonzo King currently sitting right now in P3.
Mr. Aggressive.
Behind Alonzo, Christopher Howell. 22 of Ty Bostic is currently sitting in 5th place. Luke Bullard in that number 3 is sitting in 6th. Ian Ogden is just passing Andrew Serwick. Thought I saw Andrew tag the wall a little bit back there.
He did tag the wall.
Behind Andrew is Joey Doucette, who has worked his way back up through that traffic and is currently now back up to 9th. He's cracked the top 10. William Mann Jr. is currently in 10th spot.
There's Ryan Pittman there in P11 currently, battling with Pete Woodrum. Good run for that number 1 machine as well. Right behind him, you have John Ledger on the high side in that AJM 1111 Veteran Project Camry, and on the low side you got Bobby Gibson making his way back up to the field in P12.
A little loose as he came through that quad oval, just a little bit of a twitch in that car.
And that's what you're going to get on late runs. It happens here in Atlanta. Behind Bobby, you have Evan Amick. He is in 15th, and he is the last car on the lead lap in that 77 machine.
Got the 72 of Robert Fake. He's 1 lap down, I think. John Shipman in that 37. He's 1 lap down as well. Bradley Previtt also 1 lap down. Jeff Nini also part of the 1 lap down club. And Marco Berube. Mike Slagder unfortunately has fallen back a little bit farther. That's Mark Feeding the 73. Mike Slagder's now 3 laps down.
Yeah, see, definitely just not a good night for Mike now. He kind of took a turn that last caution. Here comes David Watts down pit road.
See David on pit road. Okay, we'll go back up front to our leaders. Hermas Castro, Harley Barletta has narrowed that lead. I think when we left it was Owen in the wall. The 25 kissed that safer barrier.
Yes, he did. That's going to bring up this back field. Well, I say back of the pack, but really it's just 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Yep, they'll be able to close in on him. I saw the 14 of Mike Slagder was in the grass. He may have missed his pit entry. Got the number 1 of Pete Woodrum also on pit road. So here we are, lap 101. These guys pitted last around 25 laps ago. There are only 31 laps. So really at this point, John, it looks like 1 stop maybe, and that's it.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a 1 stop for sure. And that's what I believe will happen once this race decides to play itself out. And when this race starts to whittle down, who's going to be the first taker? That's going to be the key. Who's going to get that jump? Who's going to short pit? Got to make a note of that. Whoever, I believe is at the 81 of the wall. Harley Barletta hit the wall.
Yeah, we're beginning to see some of the wear and tear on these tires.
Yes, we are.
And just like that, the 81 is on pit road.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. You know, he was going to lose a lot of time there and might as well come down pit road.
You can see the damage a little bit on that right side where he tagged that wall. Good entry into his pit stop. He's going to get a fresh set of Goodyear rubber and be back out there, and with just 30 laps to go.
30 to go here, and it's definitely going to be a battle to the finish between all these guys up front. Who's going to be able to take it home? And the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200. Right now, it's Hermaz Castro, but don't look too far back. You have Christopher Howell looking to get his first win of the season.
He has closed that gap with Hermaz Castro. It's only just about half a second between himself and Hermaz, but again, it's that time, right? We should start seeing some green flag stops with these drivers.
It definitely is that time, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Ian Ogden is now on pit road.
Making their way down pit road as we speak. Here he comes looking for his best stop of the night. Gets in cleanly, kind of. Had to move up just a little bit. 43 of Andrew Surwick is pitting in this time by.
That was slightly, not a bad pit stop. Probably not his best pit stop of the night, but we'll see how that goes. We'll go back out front, follow Hermaz Castro, and see what's in his plan now. 28 laps to go. Certainly it is within striking distance for that final stop. Caution! Caution is out.
Well, Rick, this is going to play very well into the hands of everybody who came down pit road, because they are going to have track position over the leaders. Well, Rick, we thought this was going to get crazy. With 27 to go, it's going to get wild. It is going to get wild.
All right, let's go back out and see what we can find out from that yellow flag. Oh, there's a. Let's
Bobby
back
Gibson.
that up. Ooh.
Oh,
Definitely some contact there. Let's try to go. Let's watch this play out.
I agree. There was definitely a lot of contact right here. So here it comes.
Oh, that was William Mann trying to get onto pit road, I think.
Yep, that was incidental contact, and then Bobby just lost it. I mean, just completely lost it.
Yep. Oh!
Oh!
What was that?
I think that was Pete Woodrum.
I think that was.
I mean, he just completely gets into the back of Bobby.
I think Bobby just came up out of the grass.
Yeah, I mean that was a violent hit, which that's probably going to put the one out of contention.
All right, our last round of pit stops for the top 10. They've all made their way down.
Not a good stop for the 25 machine.
45 of Hermaz Castro was on pit road for in his pit stall for 20.38, whereas Ty Bostic, who came out in first, I believe, did that stop as a 14.63. Same with Alonzo King, 14.62. Some fast pit stops. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break here while we can. We'll be right back.
When veterans get out of the military, a lot of them don't know how to translate their skill sets into the civilian world, and they lapse into poverty or into homelessness. But it can be easier with the right support. At Tech4Troops, our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce. We want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome back. So we've got some fabulous racing here. We will have less than 25 green flag laps to go.
Well, Rick, we wanted excitement. We wanted to see some fireworks. Well, it's probably going to get pretty hot as this race winds down with 25 to go, because you're right in the middle between pushing it as hard as you can, but also trying to conserve just a little bit for the back end of this run. So, I mean, what do you do here? Do you push it all out? Do you try to go as hard as you can? Or do you try to conserve just a little bit, because we know these tires start to wear out about lap 15?
Should be interesting. Let's see if we can raise Alonzo King. Alonzo, welcome to the broadcast booth. Got a minute?
What's up, buddy?
How are ya? I know you're about to go back to green, but that was a very interesting and untimely pit stop, a yellow flag for some, but good for you.
Yes, sir. Because I think I was about 10 away from pitting anyhow. So, but
Right.
this gives me the run out to the end.
So what do you think? Do you have enough tire in it to run as hard as you can, or do you think you have to preserve a little bit if this race continues green?
You had to preserve, or you're going to be so loose on the end run, you're not going to be able to do anything. So it'll burn the right front off real quick.
All right, we're going to move you back. Thanks for taking it with us, and good luck.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
Got it. All right, John, let me just kind of see if I put him back where he needed to go here.
Oh, good. No worries.
Yeah, I need to move him back to a different channel.
No worries. We're about to get green flag racing here. Pace car is about to make its way down pit road for hopefully the final time here tonight at Atlanta. Pace car is off. Bostic has control. We're green flag racing again here at Atlanta.
Bostic has jumped out to a huge lead. Great restart.
Yep, there's Luke Bullard there getting chased by the number 25 of Hermes Castro. Here we
Alonzo
go.
King.
Yep, here comes Alonzo King to that middle line, but don't look too far back. There comes Castro again to that high side. The high side King doing some magical work up there, getting around the 3 car of Luke Bullard for P3. Now we got a battle for the lead right now. There's 3 distinct lines being run by first, second, and third.
Oh.
No, Bostic's in the wall. 3 wide. Alonzo King's getting pushed by the 25 car. And we have a stack up here.
Alonzo King is now your leader.
Yes, sir, he is. Alonzo King, for the first time tonight, your leader in the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200 with 21 laps to go with a bunch of hungry dogs on his tail.
Yeah, he's not getting away now. They've got it pretty much stacked up.
Yeah, basically almost 4 distinct lines being run. This is going to be a battle to the finish. Here comes Hermes Castro running his high line like we know he's been running all race long. Going to get a massive run out the corner, diving it down deep. Let's see what he's able to do. 80 gives him the high line. I don't know if that's a good move by Mr. King, because that 25 is so good on the high side.
Yeah, that just feeds into everything we've seen Alonzo King do all night long. He's been running that high line up at the wall.
And here he goes. Here's that run. See you later. 25 back to the lead. And he has now officially cleared that 80 of Alonzo King for P1. Right now the battle is on for third, though, between Joey Doucette and twice his number, Ty Bostic, in the 22 car. Followed by 4 times the Bostic number of the 88 of Christopher Howell, doing a bunch of math equations up here in the IWM broadcast booth. So you get a math lesson, you get track facts, you know, Why even go to college? Why even go to school for this? Why even go to learn anything else? You got all of it here.
That's it. Just tune in twice a week. We'll help you out.
Yeah, exactly. You learn something new every single broadcast. But right now we got basically 8 cars right there, all battling for position, 1st through 8th, all looking for either their first win, their second win. Joey Doucette looking for his 4th win of the season. Or you have Bostic and Howell looking for their first. 17 to go this time by. Or 16 to go this time by, rather.
So we saw that Alonso was right there, right behind Hermas Castro, pretty much mimicking that line with him. I'm not sure how that's going to impact him.
I mean, that was very impressive out of both those drivers to not even wreck because he was so close to the back bumper of the 25 machine. But here comes Joey Doucette to the inside of the 80 car. Joey slides up. He gets into the 80 a little bit. Contact. Also, Brittany Bullard says, come on, Luke and Ty. So Ty right now is in 4th and Luke is in 8th.
It'll be 15 laps at the stripe. We've got a battle right now for first between Castro, King, Doucette.
I mean, 3 different lines being run here. This is awesome to see. Doucette's trying to get alongside that 80 car, and that's what Hermes Castro wants to see.
Contact. The 11 gives a slight tap to the back of the 80. Hey, buddy, I'm here. Just letting you know I haven't gone anywhere.
Yep, and what that's going to do is that is going to open up the door for that number 88 machine. 88 now has passed Ty Bostic for that 4th spot. So enter Christopher Howell into the mix, looking to get underneath his teammate right here, coming out of turn 4. 14 to go.
Castro, King, Howell, and now up to 3rd.
We'll see what he's able to do. Joey Doucette's on the high line, looking to get a run out of turn 2. He does get the run. Christopher Howell shuts the door. Maybe not. There's still a little bit of a crack there as the 80 follows just in line right behind the 25 on entry, but dives down to the bottom lane here. Coming to 13 to go, Rick.
Tight racing here in Atlanta with just a little bit. There's 13 laps left in this contest. Hermas Castro continues to show us the way around this track. He has led a good bit of this race, pretty much the majority tonight.
He has led almost every single lap here tonight. And let's keep in mind, Hermas Castro actually has 2 wins on the season. You know what other track he won at, Rick? Texas. What's very similar to Texas?
Old Atlanta.
Atlanta. So this fits right into his skill set as we see Christopher Howell now trying to get his way around Mr. King for 2nd place. Hermas Castro also won at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, old configuration, the oval.
Oh. So we're definitely seeing the last 10 laps to go here. These guys are picking different lines, how fast they can get around here, what works best for them and their skill set. Christopher Howell is
11 to go. 11 to go.
Caution,
is out.
caution.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be crazy. Now, what do you do? If you have an extra set, do you pit?
Well, these guys,
think you have to.
These guys last came down at lap 107. Let's see what caused that yellow flag. Back out here to Robert Fake. Oh, it was like the 89 of Paul Ballantyne came up and...
Yeah, just kind of didn't, just a little bit of ran out of racing room there between those 2 drivers. Looks like the 89 just came right up into the 70. 72 definitely got into the wall. Oh, Rick, we may have some issues under caution. I think we're okay, though. A little bit of a stack up. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Don't mean to scare you. 72 got into the wall. Yeah, just a racing deal there.
Yep, not quite sure what happened there, but
here we go. Leaders are coming down pit road. Who's going to go? Who's going to stay? Everybody comes out except for that is
Ryan Pittman.
Ryan Pittman stays out. Pete Woodrum stays out. Well. They did the wise thing to do. Bobby Gibson says, Bobby G says, come on, Evan. Sitting on pit wall, eating a hot dog, drinking moonshine.
Well, there's that. All right, that was a quick pit stop for Hermas Castro. All off pit road. Now, unfortunately, that is going to put Ryan Pittman behind the pace car with everybody who just pit right behind him. Hermas Castro, Andrew Surwick, Alonzo King. I don't know about you, John, but I'm a little nervous about this this restart. So while we're waiting on this restart, let's see if we've got Jason with Tech4Troops.
Yeah, let's see if we got a winner for tonight's paint scheme challenge. Jason.
Yeah, we do. There was a lot of contention. I probably built up an ulcer over this, not to mention probably built it up a little too much. But I really appreciate everybody that came in and did this, and just encourage you, please, let's do it again next week. I think it's something cool that we can continue to do. But for tonight, our winner is number 54, Mr. Dave Watts.
David Watts, there he is. He's got that American flag on the car with the Tech4Troops logo. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a closer up shot of that awesome paint scheme, Rick. Out of Midland, Texas, that is your winner.
We'll keep an eye on David as he pulls out. David is the winner of the Tech4Troops Scheme Skirmish of the Speedway for our first race here at Hotlanta. All right, we're going to go back to our leader. That's currently Ryan Pittman out front. We have 7 laps to go now. Once we come back to the stripe, we will go green with 6 laps.
Rick, I like the aggressive move by the 08. I do. But, we've seen restarts on cold tires. We haven't seen a restart on cold and old tires. So I'm not saying that Ryan Pittman doesn't have a good strategy or a bad strategy here. I'm just saying the odds are not against him when keeping that car straight. But let's hope he can keep that car straight, because if he's able to pull this off, what an absolute move this will do for him and for his season, turning it around right here.
So I'm guessing that Ryan King is going to have to jump out to a little bit of a good start to try and get a little bit of distance between himself and those drivers behind him.
He definitely will. And Ryan Pittman is still looking for that first win of the season, and he's going to make that aggressive move. Here we go. Pace cars dropped off. We're coming to 6 to go. Who's it going to be? Green flag is out. Oh, there he goes. Don't come back up. Stay down there. Everybody's loose. Everybody's sideways. Field is broken up into turn 1. 80 to the lead. Well, Rick, I may have spoke too soon. Oh, Ty Bostic is loose. Oh, the 43's in the wall. Oh, we got chaos. 3 wide going into turn 3. Teammates side by side. There's always a 25 up there in the high line. 5 to go.
We are 2 and 3 wide with just 5 laps left to go.
Here comes the 25 car of Hermes Castro. He's looking to get a move on the 43 machine. He's going to go 3 wide, maybe not 3 wide. He's going to go 2 wide as he's trying to get around those 2 machines right there. We'll see what that machine's able to do as
That's Luke Bullard, and now he's got just a 43 in front of him of Andrew Surwick.
Yep. Oh, contact between the teammates. That's Christopher Howell and Joey Doucette side by side. 4 laps to go.
Alonzo King continues to show us the way.
Alonzo King is out front right now. That 25 car looking to close the gap. Doesn't quite do it. He's looking for that high line because that is his track. That is where he wants to be. But the 3 is basically locking it up there where that 25 cannot get around. Coming to 3 to go. This time by, 25 is running that 3 pretty hard right now, trying to get by him still, with Alonzo King slowly checking out from the field.
It's some close racing here in Atlanta. 3 laps to go. Alonzo King continues to show us the way, but it's
80
close.
hit the wall. He hit the wall. I think the 80 hit the wall, Rick. It left off some sparks, and I believe it was out of the 80 car. Didn't mean to interrupt you there, but I saw some sparks.
Yep. No, it's all good. I think he wasn't too bad. It was like he survived it. We're kind of watching the rest of the field as they're coming through the quad oval there.
2 to go. This time by. This 25 has made his way up to the high side of the track, trying to get around Luke Bullard there.
Contact.
If that's a 43 machine up in the wall.
I think that was the 11 of Joey Doucette who tagged the outside wall.
Here we go. White flag this time by.
Oh, there's
a little
contact with the 3. Luke Bullard got a little bit of a help from Castro. Still with a contact.
Oh, put him in the wall. The 25 got into the 3. 25 is looking to get a podium finish. He's sliding up the track, gets into the 43 a little bit. They're beating and banging.
3 in the wall.
This is the battle for the podium between these 3 drivers. Here we go, out of turn 4. Alonzo King is going to win.
Andrew Surwick gets his P2 position. Luke Bullard is our 3rd place finisher.
Wow, what a run for those 3 drivers out front. That was a great run by those guys, because guess what? Track position mattered. Those drivers came down pit road all in front of Hermes Castro and the rest of the field before that last caution came out, or second to last caution came out, rather. So, or actually, it was the last caution. But right now, Alonzo King is your winner of the Tech4Troops Hotlanta 200. Brought to you by Tech4Troops, U-Haul, 1111 Veteran Project, Jimmy Strong, and Elite Performance Industries. What an absolute awesome win.
All right, let's bring up our results as we watch Mr. Alonzo King burn off that fresh Goodyear tire she just put on that car.
Hey, he deserves it. He ran a heck of a race there. Strategy was in his favor, and he took advantage. He brings home the win tonight with Andrew Surwick up from 22nd to finish in P2, right behind Alonzo King. Luke Bullard with a podium finish here tonight in 3rd, with Hermes Castro in 4th, Christopher Howell in 5th, your point leader Joey Doucette in 6th, John Ledger in 7th, Ian Ogden in 8th, and look at that, you got AJM 5th through 8th, with Ty Bostic in 9th, and Harley Barletta rounds out your top 10.
I think we've got Luke Bullard already in the room. Let's bring him into the broadcast booth. Luke, congratulations on your P3 finish.
Appreciate it, guys.
That was really hairy towards the end there between you and Hermes Castro battling door to door.
Yeah,
I knew he was fast on that high line. I knew the only way to keep him behind me was to run his line and block him. I figured I'd either block and let him wreck me as opposed to letting him go by me. So it worked out good.
That's exactly what I said up in the booth there, Luke. I was like, I know he's trying to take the fast lane away from the 25, but give us a rundown of your race. Before the race even started, on that first start we had, you spun the tires, got in the wall, kind of got in the back. How'd you work your way back up through the field?
Yeah, on that first start, I really didn't expect to spin the tires like that. It looked like several people did, but we were able to kind of just claw our way back, got back on the lead lap, and just slowly picking a few guys off, and had some kind of timely cautions to reset the field for us with some fresh tires, and just kept making our way forward.
Well, it's fun to watch you go back to work your way back up. You qualified well here, and certainly it was great to see you back here at the end. Any shout-outs you'd like to make tonight?
Not tonight, but I appreciate you guys doing these broadcasts for us.
You got
Absolutely.
it. All right, that is your third place finisher, Luke Bullard. Congratulations, Luke. All right, let's see if we can bring in our P2. This will be Andrew Surwick.
It's fun, though.
Andrew, welcome to the broadcast booth. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Take us a little bit through that restart.
Well, I took 2 tires, so I knew on this restart it was going to be a little bit sketchy, especially knowing that I think it was Pittman there had no tires, so I kind of got on it, got a little loose, but was able to maintain my position. So from there, it was just try to push hard, see if I could get past Alonso. But ultimately, he had a little bit more pace than I did. So yeah.
I mean, you ran a great race. Starting from all the way back in 22nd here in Atlanta, that is no easy feat to do, to finish up in the top 10. So I've asked a lot of drivers this tonight, what do you think was the culprit of all of the early spins? Was it cold tires on the restarts? Was that the reason why? Could you stamp on the throttle? What kind of were you seeing in the car?
On these even on cold tires with fresh tires and everything, it's just you cannot step on it in second gear. You have to ease into that throttle, otherwise you're spinning. And we saw that a lot tonight, obviously. And especially as the tires got older too, it was just consistently worse and worse. So I think keys really for the guys that stayed out of trouble was just to on those restarts take it real easy, and I think that really paid off for everyone.
All right, any shout outs tonight?
Shout out to the Apollo Racing Club. We have a big team with all those guys here. I think there's like 11 of us in the league, so shout out to all those guys. Yeah, that's about it.
All right, congratulations. That's your P2 finisher, Andrew Surwick. Let's bring in our winner, Alonzo King. Alonzo, congratulations. Welcome to the broadcast booth.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Well, you're going on. That was a heck of a finish.
It was an interesting restart, I'll give you that.
Yeah, we saw, we were talking here in the booth as we saw that Ryan Pittman chose not to come down pit road. He was on he was on older tires. Everybody behind him, yourself included, had come down, got fresh Goodyear rubber, and unfortunately it played out like we thought it might.
Well, Pittman, he didn't have any tires left. I think he messed up one of his pit stops and took tires, and the 43 took 2, so I was worried about that. And then, was it Hermes? I'm sorry, his name. He started off in 4th gear. So I already had my car pointed up the track because I was like, I'm going to jump the start, because if he spins low, then he's going to take, the second place car out. So I just timed it right.
Good job. Well, it certainly paid off. Well, you know what? Everybody needs a bit of luck now and again. So
I didn't have any at the beginning of this race.
Well, I think you're in the same boat as a lot of guys. It just, there just was not the grip that people expected.
Yeah, the starts, it was pretty rough there, but we got it figured out. We had some good green flag runs. I couldn't maintain like a lot of them could throughout the run, but got it figured out at the end. We were fast when it needed to be and took hold of V.
Absolutely. And you seem to be very good at these kind of tracks. You won back at Nashville, and this is your 4th race with us, and you brought home another victory. What's your secret sauce? Because you seem to be pretty good at these kind of tracks. What's going on there?
You got to learn not to knife edge the wheel when you get into the corner. You got to be steady with it all the way through. That's where a lot of guys mess up at. They get in the corner and they want to jerk the wheel back and forth. You can't do that. You're just tearing your stuff up. So
Makes sense. Well, congratulations on another awesome win. You have 2 wins in the book now. Looking really great for the playoffs once that time comes around. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to or thanks to tonight before we send it off?
Well, I want to give thanks to you guys for putting this broadcast on. It's amazing. Love it every week. Dark Tempest Motorsports. I want to give a shout out to Wade Burrs for the car paint. It looks amazing. And My Veterans Passion. If you guys get a chance, go check out their website, myveteranspassion.org. We help veterans' mental health through gaming. So,
All right, there's your winner, Alonzo King Jr. Congratulations. Okay, so heck of a race tonight. Lots of weird things happening with tires and grip, but we've chalked it up to cold tires and a super hot track, and maybe some patience as well. So,
yep. Well, that's Hotlanta for you. It's a product of this old surface, and we definitely saw that tonight. And it was a great race, and a lot of spins, but also a lot of great racing going on all throughout the race. Elliot Swope, I think, is going to join us here and has a couple announcements for everybody watching along.
Hey fellas, how y'all doing? Another late caution makes for an exciting finish. Wanted to come in and let everybody know that Andrew Surowick not only won the IWM Hard Charger Award, but he also won the 1111 Vets Leadest Driver Award. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Alonzo. We're off next week for Thanksgiving. So 2 weeks from now will be North Wilkesboro. It's the Dash for Cash. The next Dash for Cash driver race. And the 4 drivers that qualified for that are Bobby Gibson, Mike Slagter, David Watts, and Paul Wallenstein. So the top finisher out of them will be racing for an additional $25 to go along with any other winnings that they might win.
So also David Watts was the winner of the first Scheme Skirmish of the Speedway, sponsored by Tech4Troops, for the amazing patriotic paint that he was running on his car. We hope to see some more in future races.
Fantastic.
All right, John, I guess that wraps up our broadcast for tonight. Any parting words?
Oh, just like to give everybody who has watched along this far just a big thank you for supporting us and supporting these drivers and these amazing organizations every single week. We couldn't do it without everybody watching at home, so we greatly appreciate you. And we would also appreciate it if you could give us a like and a subscribe on any kind of social platform that you're watching this on, so we can show this and grow the community of sim racing lovers, and as well getting more attention to these amazing organizations that we have partnered with here. And it's gonna be fun. We have an off week, but then we're gonna have that awesome race coming up at North Wilkesboro coming soon. So make sure to know about that in 2 weeks' time. But from Rick, from John, from Elliot, from everybody here in the Tech4Troop Cup Series and iRacing Warriors Motorsports, we wish you a good night, and if we don't see you before Thanksgiving, a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And tune in Sunday to watch that Ryan Sandusky Gobble Gobble 500. We'll see you Sunday afternoon if you can make it. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.